Hello, hello. Welcome to the Personal Best Community News. I am Tony Lee Hazlitt. I'll be your host today. And with me, I have Heather Jones. It is my honor to be hosting the community news today and to be shining a spotlight on this very special lady who is the new proud owner of Personal Best seminar courses and programs. Yay, welcome, Heather.
Thank you.
So just we're going to be talking tonight. So the news, we're bringing this because we figure we've made the announcement that Personal Best is making a comeback, and we wanted to come on today and just share a little bit about Heather and answer any questions you guys may have. So if you're watching and you've got some comments, or you want to just say that, hey, you're watching, make sure you drop a comment. Let us know that you're here. And really, we want to give Heather an opportunity to share a little bit about what's going on with Personal Best and in the community. So before we get into it, I'd like to just take a moment to give you all a little bit of background about Heather. So after over 30 years of life-changing transformations, Jay Fazette says it was time for him to pass over his content and these courses to a successor. All right. And that successor being Heather. All right. So he said that he was looking for someone to pass the torch on to, somebody that would honor the origins of the Personal Best courses as they were intended, and who know the importance of passing on this knowledge and experiential transformation down through the generations. So Heather Jones, who's here with us, she also says that in addition to being this kindred spirit that Jay is passing the courses on to, she's also earned her bachelor's degree in 2004. And shortly thereafter, she was introduced to the Personal Best seminars. So I could go on and on and on about Heather, but I don't want to steal her thunder. I'm going to leave some space for her to do some talking. So Heather, let's turn it over to you, my friend. So what inspired you to buy the Personal Best company? Can you share with us a little bit of your story and what led us to this point?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks so much for asking that. So I think the inspiration really for me is I know the value that I got from the courses. So I started mine in 2006. I did the level 1, I did the level 2 and 3 in 2007 shortly afterwards. And so I see the difference that it made and the value that I got. And when I heard that there was this opportunity to purchase the programs and the courses, is I really started to consider the next generation. And because so my son, he's now 15 years old. And when I think of how is he going to learn this stuff, right? I've got a 19-year-old stepdaughter who's just did the level 1 and 2 with Jay. And what she said to me was, man, Heather, like everything that I heard in the courses, I've heard from you in the last couple of years, like just conversation around the dinner table. And she's like, it didn't click. It didn't kind of mesh in until she saw it all together. And so the inspiration was more on like, there needs to be a way or an avenue for this content to get out there effectively. And so I just decided that, you know what, I can step up, I can do this. And that's kind of why we're here now.
Well, and here we are, and we are definitely launching. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about what's the Personal Best seminars is going to be offering to the community. Before we do, I just want to say we've got Sarah Bishop is here, Erin is here, and Stacey O'Brien is here. And I see we do have a few more who have joined us. If you're dialed in, drop a comment, give us a wave, let us know you're here. And as I go along and ask Heather questions, I'm going to be asking her, about her experiences over the years with the courses. If you have an experience with the Personal Best courses, drop a comment. Let us know how it was for you. So Heather, before we dive into it, just a little bit, I am kind of curious. Can you tell us a little bit about your family or your hobbies? Like, how do you like spending your time when you're not focused on the business?
Sure. So I'm married. My husband's name is Jason, and we are a blended family. So that makes life very exciting some days. So to the relationship is I brought our son, Reese. So he's 15 years old, and he brought our daughter, Kiara, who is 19 years old. So Kiara is actually going to McEwen now. So she's living in dorms. So she's out of the house. So we're one shy in the house right now. And then my husband, he does tend to work out of town. So sometimes it's still just my son and I in the house. And I guess what we do for fun is we really enjoy like spending time in our hot tub together. And my husband and I love vacationing and cruises. And I think one of our favorite things is when we're coming in to port on the balcony of the cruise ship and just like watching the city and everything. And then really just like, you know, deciding like, wow, what do we want to do today? Like we have this new adventure, like every day at a new port is a new adventure. And so we love doing that stuff.
It seems like you've got seems like you've got a really full life. And the cruises always, I mean, I wasn't necessarily a cruise person. And then I ended up going on a cruise for my daughter. She ended up wanting to dance there, and I actually really enjoyed it. So we're not here, as interesting as cruises are, we are here to, talk about the courses. Jen Grossman is here, and I haven't seen or talked to that lady in so long.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah, how's it going? We're glad you're here. Stacey O'Brien says, Heather has taught me so much through her PB experience. Best teacher presenter I have ever went to. She just connects with people. And that was Stacey O'Brien. So what would you say? Okay, so we're starting the courses. What would you say is going on in the personal best community right now that people would want to lean in and pay attention to?
Oh my goodness, lots is going on. So many exciting things. Like I can't tell you, like I think we announced like 2.5 weeks ago. I can't even tell you the amount of support I've gotten, the private messages I've gotten, the phone calls I've gotten, just of people like so excited that these programs are coming back in Alberta. So to start off is we do have a level 1 course that we're launching on March 17th to 19th. And that one we are going to have actually Jay Fizette facilitate. So we're super excited about that. We are just about at the point with our website being live. That should happen in the next day or so. And then as well, a really fun thing that we've done is we've rebuilt one of the pre-course kind of level 1 homework books. It's actually not homework. It's more for the people who it's like, man, I don't know what this is. I don't know if I want to really be in a course. I'd like to know more. That's kind of what the book is. And so we've got that book all ready to go where it can take you through like the exercises of the level 1 if you want to learn things independently. So tons of things are happening like in the background of what's going on right now.
Yeah. And for the workbook, it's really important to know that I see we've got a lot of past grads from the courses that are watching right now. And this workbook is actually a perfect opportunity for you to do a refresh as well. So if you're wanting to access this level 1 pre-course workbook, then drop in the comments interested. Okay. Just drop a comment, say interested. And then what we'll do is either Heather or I will reach out and we'll send you the workbook. Just bada boom, bada bing, just like that. So we've got the level 1 that's happening, like you said, March 17th to the 19th in Edmonton. And did you, I might have missed it because I was multitasking. Did you mention about the accountability intensive deal?
No, I haven't mentioned about that at all. So this is another really exciting thing is that, so Jay Fizette is a part of like anybody who purchases a seat in the level 1 is he is offering a seat for whoever took the level 1 plus a seat for a buddy to do the accountability intensive, which is like insane. Like this has been one of besides the level 1, 2, and 3 program that we have, accountability intensive, I'd say is really the next one up there as far as the value, the lessons, and the reframe when people leave the courses is that course right there. So we're offering that to whoever does the level 1, but then also if you are a grad and you want a refresher on that then you also can purchase just that seat for the accountability intensive, and you can still get the bonuses where you can take a buddy. So you can really purchase 2 ways, which is cool.
Well, it's been years since I've done that accountability intensive, but what I remember the most about it is, well, there was a couple of things. I don't want to spill the beans, obviously, but for me, it was the experience of recognizing how I really am in control of either I can be a drainer in my life and be drained by things and be constantly in resistance to everything. Or I can experience that contentment of being a generator and taking ownership. Yeah, stuff happens in life. Things happen that I don't think should be happening. It's not right. Rah, rah, rah. And yet, what I got from that weekend was the realization that I actually have the freedom to choose how I'm going to respond. And I can become a generator regardless of the story around it.
Yeah.
So I'll be there. I know that for sure. So if you're interested in getting some more information on that, I mean, we're here. Just drop a comment and we'll definitely let you know more about it. So we've covered the fact that there's a level 1, and we've talked about the fact that if anybody who signs up for level 1, they get 2 free seats to that accountability intensive. That's also being facilitated by Jay Fazette in person. Yeah. So just before we move on, I want to just kind of flag up one of the reasons that I am so excited that these courses are coming back is, I feel like, Heather, and you can maybe have a thought on this too, is that, over the last couple of years, Zoom's become a thing, webinars has become a thing, online coaching, online learning. I can sit in my house by myself all day long talking to people, but never actually connecting. Time. And I know I re-audited the level 1 in Calgary back just in fall. And like, I was so emotional just sitting there the first night, because it was like being in a room with actual people here and to actually have real meaningful conversations in person. It was absolutely invaluable. And so the fact that we're offering this with Jay facilitating in Edmonton in March is just, I'm so excited.
Exciting, very exciting.
Yeah, we've got Diane Goodwin who says, happy they're back. So that's my mom, by the way. Hi, Mom. So Heather, this is, we talk about personal best, unlocking your personal best and living it, which, means growing and developing in maturity and strength of character and digging deep and making the hard choices. So as you've been launching this personal best company, or relaunching, as we should say, what would you say has been the greatest obstacle for you in stepping into unlocking your personal best and living it right now? And for those of you who just heard that question, you're not off the hook. I challenge you, if you're brave enough, to go ahead and answer that question for yourself. So what has been your greatest challenge right now in unlocking your personal best and living it? Over to you.
Over to me. Well, thank you. Well, I feel like launching any program or anything new in your life comes with its challenges. And so it's like you always have to go back, revisit the concepts and the things that you learned. When I was taking the courses, I struggled a lot with self-love and really just knowing who I am. And so it's been an interesting experience to kind of really go through this and really evaluate again and again, where I'm at, who I am, and know who I am, and continue to step into that.
Yeah, it's, it's all about doing the work on ourselves. And I think you and I have had many conversations. And in fact, I think at one point I even said, oh my gosh, if people could listen in on our conversations, they'd just be because you and I tend to keep it at quite an elevated perspective. Like, there's the story around it, but what I love when we have conversations, Heather, is we're able to go, okay, so what is it that we want to experience, and what's getting in our way? What's the story we're making up about it? Because based on results, if we're not getting what we want to have, it just means that there's something cognitively or perhaps with the system, that we need to apply in order to see the way forward. So
yeah. And I feel like we also need to listen to ourselves and what's happening. I can tell you that I've done business lots. I've been always self-employed, and this has been one of the first experiences that I've had where I feel everything just aligns so nice and easily. Even down to the location that we're doing, this wonderful, beautiful place, the number of bathrooms it has, everything, it just fits into what it is that we need. Every step of the way of this, and even all of the conversations I have, it just affirms over and over again that this is what's meant to happen. This is what I'm meant to be doing as the next chapter in my life.
Yeah, I love it when it flows and comes together, and we're getting lots of comments saying, hey, happy it's back, really excited. Jen Grossman, old school PV grad, here she is, old school.
Old school, yes. Jen Grossman teamed my level 2. She
Yeah.
was one of the graduates of the program, and she got the opportunity to support me through level 2. So that's so cool.
It is. She says she's happy to hear that the courses are back. I gotta say hello to my friend Anjali from India. Hey Anjali, it's good to see you. Thanks for dialing in. Dorothy asks, she says, oh, I so hope this will be posted for people who couldn't be here. Yes, it'll be available to watch on the replay. And in fact, if you are watching this on the replay, drop a comment and let us know. So when we're thinking about the courses, and I know we've got some grads watching, so again, I'm going to challenge the grads to answer this question as well. But Heather, for you, thinking back about your time in the courses, what would you say has been some of the more pivotal experiences for you throughout the personal best course, or your time as a participant in the course, without obviously giving away what goes on in the course, but internally, what would you say were some of the pivotal experiences you had for yourself? And that goes for you who are watching as well.
Yeah, thank you. That's a really good question. So a lot of my pivotal experiences, they really did happen a lot afterwards. And I'll share kind of my process is, so the level 1 was all about awareness. And so I actually became aware of this idea of the way that I love myself inside of level 1. And I also became aware, when I became aware of the belief that it wasn't supporting me, is that I also stepped back and paid attention to what did I do like with this information or with this belief or idea. And I recognized that there was a person in my life that I really behaved with her out of my insecurities. And so I see now that it was about my insecurities. So when I went to the level 2 is that I was actually able to practically apply this idea of self-love in my life. And then the level 3 for me was all about integration. But the really cool part, like the really like pivotal experience for me is probably about 3 years after I did the program. I'm very aware of what happened for me, what the downfall was of that relationship. And we actually came together and were able to have a conversation. And I was able to tell her very cleanly that I didn't love myself. And I was so insecure that I couldn't have this be without this part that we were really disagreeing about. And I was able to apologize. And when I shared that perspective, what she said to me was, wow, like, and she's just started crying. And she said, I didn't know I needed an apology until I got it. And what that showed me is that when I stepped in and did my work, when I just worked on just this simple idea of self-love, I supported other people in healing around me. And I'm just like, my mind, when I walked out of that meeting, like going to my car, like just sobbing, because I'm just like, I had no idea that me doing my own work could have such an impact. Right? Does that make sense?
Totally makes sense. Yeah, like when we step into, I call it growing up. I mean, that's just my language. I call it growing up, owning our stuff, owning and being willing to make amends when we've had less than mature behavior. That's, to me, that's what it means to grow and develop and mature and all that. And for me, going through the personal best courses, I mean, within literally weeks of that level 1, I had been unemployed, struggling to find work. And within weeks of that, actually through the contacts I had made in the courses, I landed myself a really good government job.
Wow.
And then after my level 2, it became really obvious to me. For me, it wasn't so much as making amends, but rather taking a stand for myself. And I ended up letting go of a very long-term relationship, which was for me really scary and painful, and me stepping out of my comfort zone. And that's the really cool thing I find about these courses, Heather, is that depending on who you are, the course is big enough to offer space and grace for every individual to examine themselves. Yeah. There's nobody who's going to tell you what's wrong with you. We don't know what's wrong with you. In fact, I've got the grounding that nothing is wrong, right? But they know, like, what you need to do. And the courses are an opportunity to to unplug from the busyness of life and to plug into a higher awareness about ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Yeah. exactly.
Stacy says, yeah, that made total sense to her. She says growth. Jen Grossman says self-discovery. Yes. There's a lot of that in these courses. So I do have to ask, and again, this goes for anybody watching. If you're brave, go ahead and answer this one. What is your favorite? So I know that the personal best program is level 1, 2, and 3, and they are really each an experience on their own. What would you say is your favorite level, if you could?
Oh my gosh. Do I have to pick a level? I don't know if I could I don't know if I could pick one. Like it's more the program as a whole. Every single, like all 3 levels that I did, each had a very unique experience and very profound experience, an experience that I actually I couldn't be who I am without having experienced it. So like level 1 for me was really just opening this idea of self-love and how I, because I didn't believe in my own self-love, or I didn't love myself, how I rejected it in all these different areas. And level 2, I was able to let that in, and level 3, I was actually fully to step in and embrace it in all aspects of my life, whether it be with my family or my primary relationship. So I can't pick. What's everybody else saying? I can't see the comments.
Well, Jen Grossman says she likes 2s.
She likes 2s?
Yeah, she said she likes 2s. For me, I agree. I mean, the whole entire course is
Yeah.
But if I had to pick a favorite, and some people think I'm crazy because it's so much work, level 3s. I love the level 3s because to me, that's where we get to see people you talk about level 1, right? Let's get aware. Let's tell ourselves the truth, right? That's the whole thing is, awareness, like these light bulbs are going off a million times a minute. For me, at least, that was in level 1. In level 2, we're looking at applications. So it's nice we all had some nice awarenesses and some self-awareness. And so what? How are we going to put our right? Like, how are we going to put our butt on the line? How are we going to actually step forward and take action in our lives? Right? Applications. But level 3, I really love level 3 because it's based in self-directed accountable growth, and witnessing and observing the members and the participants that come and do that level 3, what they create actually in their own lives, and the collaborations and the relationships that happen, and just the celebrations that occur. It's all so good, but I would have to pick level 3.
I don't know how you pick.
Yeah. Well, we've got, Jen says 2 was the most impactful for her. Diane says, this is my mom. I have to always say that she's my mom. My core belief is that I'm not good enough. Level 2 was the breakthrough. And then she said she practiced the new belief in level 3.
Cool.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's lots more comments coming in, but while other people comment, I just want to remind people that are watching that we do have an offer right now. Heather's saying that there's a pre-level 1 workbook where there's going to be 10 exercises for you to work through to reconnect with the concepts. And if you are interested in that as a grad, it's a great way to refresh. As somebody who's interested in the level 1 course and wants some more information, it's a great way to see what it's about. If you are interested in that, drop a comment that says interested and we'll get you the workbook. It's as easy as that.
Yeah, we'll get it to you.
All right. So listen, I guess the next question is, I really just want to know, what have you been up to behind the scenes? Right? Like there's so many new things going on, and I know I'm working lots. And so what are you doing? Like, give us some inside dish. Give this
behind the scenes with the company, like Personal Best.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what I do with my days, I've said a couple of times this week, if we could stop time for 3 weeks and I could catch up, that would be wonderful. The opportunities have been just piling in. So a lot of what I've been doing is content building, supporting with the website being built, that type of stuff. The workbook has been a big undertaking. You had a huge part of that as well, getting the right verbiage in that. I've also been I am training to facilitate all 3 levels, start to finish. And so I've been spending some time kind of in the training as well. All that kind of stuff. We've got the space ready to go, the website's ready to launch. We are fully active and rolling here. Yeah. So Yeah, I think that's it. Is that what you're meaning?
Yeah, just let us know I know for me behind the scenes, I've been spending my days reaching out and connecting with past grads. I've been hopping on calls and it's been so fun, honest to goodness. Like Heather, I love connecting with people. I decided that my word for the year for 2023 is connection. So
Nice.
yeah, so I've just been really enjoying reaching out and connecting with, past people and just seeing where people are at and, talking to people about the courses. I see Krista, you are interested and you said you're looking forward to learning more about the program. I'm happy. Let's hop on a quick call and I can tell you all about it and answer your questions and get to know you and all of that. So
What's Krista's last name?
Krista Alberto.
Oh, that's my sister-in-law.
Hey.
Sister. Hi, Krista.
Hey, Krista. So, so lots going on in the community. Again, we wanted to bring you the community news tonight because we've got lots going on. You'll be seeing more from us. My hope is to be on here and to maybe get some of you who are watching, get you on a call and you can share with us your experience of the courses. And really, we're looking to just revitalize this community and get collaboration and connection and putting principles into practice. Just what does it mean to be a principled person? What does it mean to live our personal best and to connect with and collaborate with like-minded people who are interested in going there? So again, if you're interested in the workbook, go ahead and drop interested. It's completely free. We'll send it your way and you can go ahead and work through that. Heather, over to you. Are there any final thoughts that you would like to give to our community members? We've got about 12 people watching right now. So any thoughts you'd like to share?
Well, what I would just love to share is we spent a lot of time on this workbook. I tell you, I want to have this workbook in as many people's possession as possible. And so there's no charge for this. We want to be able to give this to the community as value. So whether you are a past grad, you're welcome to it. Whether you are someone who's just interested and don't know what it's about and you want to kind of a little sneak peek of what the level 1 is, let us know and we'll get your hands on that too. The other thing is that we're doing that is going to be really important to mention is if you're interested, but you're like, Facebook Live, don't really get enough information, I don't know how it's going to help me, is one of the ways when I started with personal best seminars in 2006, one thing that really worked well is that I had a personal mastery coach, and this coach supported me through really finding out if the program was for me or not, and then supported me through my process. And so Tony Lee is one of our personal mastery coaches, and you'll have an opportunity if you want, is you can book a one-on-one with her. You can pick her brain, ask her questions. At the end of the day, we want people in this program who want to be in this program, who feel like this is the next step for them. This is just about Tony Lee giving you value over the course of an hour of what is it, where are you, where are your values, and then where are you in relation to your values is kind of is what she really takes everybody through. So at the end of the call, at the end of a session with Tony Lee, is that you actually get to leave with value in your hands of okay, so this is what I learned about myself. And so if anybody is interested in that, you can also just say you're interested, and then as well with the workbook. So those kind of basically what's going on. Those are my final thoughts.
Thank you. We've got lots of people dropping a comment saying they're interested. So if you did drop the comment that you're interested in the workbook, you can expect either Heather or I will be reaching out to you. I guess my final thought, and I'm looking at the time, and I made a promise that we'd be done before the Oilers game. So I'm going to just drop my final thought and then we'll wrap up. I just want to share that, it is just so special to be doing this live and to be supporting you, Heather, with the launch of these, the rebirth or the relaunch of these courses. And, that I think Jay said he has something like 30 different courses sitting in a box doing nothing, and the fact that you're willing to step in and do the work and take the risk and bring this community back. I'm really excited to be on the ground floor with you, to be in the trenches with you. It's been a lot of fun getting to know you. And what do they say? There's a saying that if you think you know somebody, try working with them, then you really get to know them, right?
That's true.
But what's really cool is it's all kinds of opportunities to put principles into practice and walk our talk. And we're doing it because we want you, if you're watching and you haven't seen me in a while and you want to connect, reach out. Let's get on a call. It's like, even if you're a past grad, like Jen Grossman, it would be amazing to see what you're doing, you know, and where you're at in your life. So reach out. And until then, take care of each other, take care of yourself. That's it, gang. Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.